I mean, they're banning out
Every year.
Evelyn.
Yeah.
They're banning out Evelyn, Yasuo, and Maokai. So basically saying,
Yeah.
Dan, you can't have Evelyn, and Jiabe, you can't have Maokai and Yasuo. Because
Yeah.
Yasuo was a problem for...
Oh,
It was,
definitely.
it was a problem for Numlock last game, definitely.
Peanut's going to get that least, and again, he's played well on that throughout the tournament, and definitely in that last game did a good job getting some nice Dragon's Rage kicks off. Numlock struggled in the top lane versus GeoBear in the last game. Now we have to remember, GeoBear's still got some of his stronger champions open. Jax is still there if he does want to pick that one up. It does depend on the top laner being picked up here by Team Refuse. Wawa on Tristana. We've seen it in one game thus far. Wasn't the strongest, was pretty good.
I mean, it was good, but I still feel like that was Maokai, Jiabe just carrying that game, and Wawa was just sat in the back line hitting things. But then I kind of feel like that's a lot of what Infused rely on. If Jiabe has a bad game, then Infused have a bad game. If Jiabe has a good game, there's like a 75% chance that Infused are going to have a good game.
Yeah.
As we saw last game, even though Jiabe did amazingly, Infused still lost the game because the team play from Refuse was way better.
Oh, yeah.
And although Numlock got crushed in that top lane, it wasn't too bad overall. But this is going to be the first game we haven't seen Imberlite on Orianna. And he could default onto Xerath, so we'll see a mirror matchup of what we had last time round. The champions getting swapped over. Imberlite is going to have to take his time to think about this, though, but that is Jarvan and Morgana being picked up here.
Well,
so
you kind of have to pick that Jarvan away against the Orianna. I mean, there is still Vi available, of course, but it's going to be Elise in jungle. So I guess you don't actually have to pick Jarvan at this point, because you know what the jungle is going to be for the other team.
Oh, Dan hovering over Zinzao, but I do think he's going to go with the more safer or more viable pick of Jarvan. Though Zinzao used to be fairly viable, has dropped off because he has a weak early jungle, and also his ganks require him to be fairly close. A bit like why Maokai dropped off. If you don't have the movement speed, you can't get in with the 400 range. I got Blitzcrank. I do have him as a troll.
Come on.
But,
Come on. What you do is you hyperkinetic position reverser someone near your tower, and then you hook them under, and it's an amazing play if you can do it. But
you're basically gonna win the game single-handedly for them.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you shockwave them when they're under the tower. Just makes it even harder for them to escape. But it's not going to be that. It's going to be a Nami being picked up here on Vizima. Well, again, this game had some really nice tidal waves in the last game that weren't blocked by wind walls. Some of them were a bit iffy, because they hit the edge of that windmill, but that's more GeoBear just being very good at positioning that rather than actually Nami messing up. And is this going to be a Nami Ashe bot lane? I feel Ashe is a little bit...
Oh, Twitch is being hovered over here. Nami Twitch, that's a
Cogmore's
very
still
strong
available
lane.
as well.
We haven't seen
Corki.
much Twitch. We haven't seen much Twitch recently. Interesting, it's just a side point, because he's just kind of fallen off because he doesn't really fill any role right now. He's not a hyper carry in the sense that he can, he needs his ultimate in teamfights to be safe, and he's not a complete assassin because he doesn't have any escapes, and just a bit of falling off there. We've seen him from time to time in OGN, but Corki, very big OGN AD carry too, and these are two big pickups for Infused. They get
Absolutely
Gilbert
huge,
on his Jax, and that's a mid lane Kassadin, which hasn't been banned and hasn't been picked up. It was banned last time, banned for the last 3 games, and no one prioritising it early on, but now giving over to Imberlite. So we'll have to see how he plays Kassadin, because I've never seen him play in competitive, so we'll see how he runs with that in the mid lane. In theory, Orianna should win early on, but obviously Kassadin does have that passive which reduces magic damage, and he also has the ability to dodge shockwaves fairly easily post 6, so we will see how that one works out. Kassadin's still very strong. Mora's MLE bruising mid laner now. Obviously he needs to rely on his Netherblade to do a lot of his damage, because he doesn't have the burst potential he used to, but if we do allow him to get the Netherblade off, he's very strong. However, we will see, because this is a fairly skirmishy team fight from Refuse again, especially with the lock-in of that Renekton, which I haven't seen yet this tournament, although I wasn't casting yesterday. But I haven't seen Renekton rear his head much at all in competitive play recently.
It hasn't really been played a lot recently. He doesn't quite fit into that top lane meta. He's just
the influx of Gragas and Lulu has meant that Renekton's been really outshone, but obviously Renekton is very good at playing against Jax. So, he kind of beats Jax early on, and now that Jax has been nerfed early, if Numlock play this well, it'll be good. But Jax Renekton is one of the classico top lane matchups, and the Geobear is a tried and tested Jax. I don't expect him to get caught out easily.
It's like the SK versus Fnatic of top lane, pretty much. It's the classico game, isn't it? Imberlite, of course, taking that cast, and that's going to give him a bit more roaming potential, which I think will be really good for him, actually. I think Infused, they had Dan and Geobear doing well in that top lane in the last game, but if they can get Imberlite in on that action as well, definitely going to help them out a lot. We are into the 3-minute delay here before we get onto the Rift. Now, of course, Team Refused will be taking their places. Thinking about how they're going to play this. Lee Sin's very good for that ball delivery system, as it's connecting with the slice and dice, and a good tidal wave can really set it up for you, and a bubble as well. We saw Wisdom's bubbles in the last game. They were on point.
Yeah, I mean, his general Nami play was absolutely key. He used his tidal waves to block engages from the Vi. He had a good 2, 3, 4-man tidal waves in team fights. He really shut down Yasuo getting close to unload on that Tristana. But this is a team comp from Infused that you would not want to fight him against late game. And the horrible thing for Refused Gaming right now is it kind of puts a timer on their game.
Yep.
If you're even and you get to 30 minutes, you're going to have to start worrying.
Yeah. Against the Cassidy and Jax. I mean, Geobear's Jax as well. We saw it in the second game of their semi-finals. They dominated with that, absolutely destroyed, and I do have to wonder how Numlock is going to face up against that. Let's talk a bit about bot lane. Tristana Wawa against that Corki coming out from Unload. Now, we saw Unload actually playing Tristana into Corki in the final game of their semi-final against FM Esports. Tristana dominated that matchup. How do you think Unload is going to counteract that?
I just feel like that was probably because we didn't see the start of the game. It could have been part of jungle pressure. Could have been due to some outplays on the side of Refuse. But Corki should win that matchup because he has better trade potential. He's got more burst damage. Obviously, Tristana wins her lanes via a war of attrition. So she has the explosive shot. She has the the ranged auto attacks, which she wins because she gets the AD carry low enough for a potential all-in. The key point for Tristana is getting their AD carry low enough that he is a potential target, but not low enough that he wants to back off.
Yeah.
Which is what Tristana is very good at, and then she can just all-in at any given moment. But, Corki's very safe as well. He has Valkyrie if he needs it, so...
I think a lot about Tristana is that they don't realise how much damage they've taken because of the damage over time coming out from Explosive Shot. They're like, oh no, I'm fine, I can stay in lane, and then they realise they're actually 200 health lower than they thought they were, and that's when Tristana really does hit her peak. Now, 30 seconds before we get onto the Rift, we haven't talked about level 1 action Excoundrel. Why don't we have a quick look at that? Who do you think's got the level 1 here?
The level 1, I definitely feel, is in favour of Refuse. I mean, if Nami bubble, they've got the execute potential of Lee Sin. You've got a good scouting mechanism through the Orianna command attack. You've got potential for Culver Meek to come out from Ruthless Predator to come out from Numlocked if he takes that first. Not the ideal first skill from a Renekton, but can still take it. I just think the level 1 potential is way better on Refuse, but you do have the binding and the counter strike from Infused. But you've got to remember that the level 1 damage in terms of raw base stats is just way higher on Refuse Gaming, especially with that Corki having a big AoE damage coming out from his Phosphorus Bomb as well. Do you ever remember that? I think it was Season 2. We saw Double Lift play Corki, and he got a kill at level 1 by taking Valkyrie first.
Oh yeah,
and he Valkyried over the team and put a load of AoE damage down. It was.
Well, you used to be able to run Hybrid Pen on him if you really wanted to, and you could Valkyrie, and of course you get the extra damage off from your Phosphorus Bombs as well, and from your missiles coming out. That Missile Barrage can do a lot if you're running Hybrid Pen, but not seen quite as commonly these days, just because Hybrid Pen's a bit silly on an AD carry.
Yeah, and is that a new Commando Jarvan splash art?
Yes, it is. Got
yes, it
changed in 4.13, I believe.
Wow, that's a long time since I've seen that. In fact, I haven't seen it in ages, but very nice looking. Definitely makes him look more like a Commando.
He definitely does.
So yeah, I mean, there's a exhaust on the side of Refuse because they're probably going to need it for that Jax or Cassadin, whereas there isn't much that needs to be exhausted on the size of Refused for Infused, so they can get that aggressive lane with the Morgana again. So I haven't seen take exhaust in any of their games that they've played today.
For a second there, I was like, oh, we're onto the Rift, and then I realised, yep, I have to pause for Imberlight's PC to catch up with the rest of us. He will be into this game in just a couple of minutes, and then we will be able to get onto the Rift and ready to go. Quick shout out to our sponsors at Razer, providing all the tickets for this tournament. Of course, the winners get 5 bring your own computer tickets to Insomnia52, which is on the 22nd to the 24th of August. And there's the Razer League of Legends Challenger Cup being hosted there, a £7,500 prize pool. Absolutely huge winnings to go across to all of the teams involved. Now, if you are at the event, there's a dedicated viewing area for you guys, and if you want to go to the event, tickets are still available at www.insomniagamingfestival.com/tickets. Make sure you follow our sponsors Make sure you follow our sponsors Razer on Twitter. That's at Razer, and you can find their website www.razerzone.com. That sounds.
Yep, and that's
an
Razer
epic
with
name,
an
really,
E.
isn't it? Yeah, Razer with an E.
I always got that wrong. I always thought it was like at Razer as in shaving razor, but it's actually Razer with an E.
Yeah.
So you guys go ahead and type that one in and have a look at all the beautiful goods they have to offer. They have some offers on their Twitter account as well, so always brilliant. And a while ago they had that mishap where they had the pricing store in the UK Razer, so you can get things for like 80% off, and they, good guys, they actually honoured, as long as you didn't, as long as it was just ordering one product, they actually honoured a lot of the sales.
Well, they honoured all of the deals that weren't, I think, more than 5 items. They honoured.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that shows props to being such a great company.
Yep.
So yeah, good shot.
Really
anyway,
good
we're going to get straight into the Rift here, guys. We're going to be seeing some spreading out
I'm sorry,
defensive formation.
Before we talk about anything, there are no items on either Nami or Renekton.
Wow, both of them forgot to buy items / maybe not wanting to buy items early on. This is a bit unorthodox. Maybe they're just sort of trying to psych people out.
That means no wards. What is going on?
Yeah, this is
Renekton's backing now, so he obviously didn't mean to not buy any items. Nami's backing as well.
Yeah, Wisdom is now backing too, so they're going to go ahead and get their items today. Unfortunately, they didn't even manage to get a deep wards in. All the deep wards came out from the remainder of the team, so Orianna and Corki using their wards early on. It's going to be standard lane setups again, so we're going to see Giobear getting that 1v1 situation that he does love oh so much. It's going to be a straight normal 2v2 in that bot lane, but again, does play into the favour of Refused. We did see their bot lane do a good job of winning that out early on. Just getting some wards down on that red side jungle for Peanut. He doesn't want to get his stolen early on. I mean, we saw Peanut go crazy with the invades early on, and sort of, like you said, picked up, was it 5 of the first 7?
5 of the first 7 buffs were his.
Yeah, 5 of the first 7 buffs were picked up by Peanut, so he got across a ton of buffs there, doing a great job as well. I applaud him. He did a great job of counter jungling. Wisdom just going to get a heal off onto Peanut, going to allow him to take this blue buff without too much of an issue. He's actually waiting for his Sonic Wave to come back up so he can take that down easily. He's going to clear these up now and head towards his red buff without much contestation. But Dan is already on the move right now, so Peanut, unfortunately, a little bit farther behind in terms of his buff clear.
Yeah, Tormented Sword is a very good pull at level 1 because it does, of course, damage over time as well, which is really helpful. So just the skills basically on there.
Serious level 1 brawling going on down in this bot lane.
Oh, they've been fighting since the word go in both of these games. Refused like that aggressive lane. Wisdom knows that he can do it because they've got the sustain. They've got the ebb and flow on Nami.
Ebb and flow is an amazing level 1 trading tool, but it looks like there is a level 2 coming out for both sides, hitting at the same time, so there's not going to be a cheesy level 2 all in from either of these lanes here. And they are just going to be very good at freezing this lane in a crucial position just before turret. And Wawa taking a phosphorus bomb to the face there, but replying with that explosive shot. And there's a Valkyrie.
Wisdom gets locked up in the binding though. He gets ignited as well. He's going to back away and then just wait for that ignite to pop off. Ebb and flow will start coming out.
I can't work out what that Valkyrie was for.
Man mode,
maybe it was because Wisdom did get
caught. Wisdom gets caught again. Ebb and flow. Here comes Wawa into the fight. He gets exhausted though. Wisdom's going to be able to get away. The heal has been used. Unload is going to go on to fetch. Fledgner. And Wawa gets phosphorus bombed behind. Oh, the Jukes hit the Valkyrie. Will he pick up the kill? He will with the Valkyrie. Unload picks up 2. and Refuse Wisdom coming back into the fight. Renekton, of course, picking up a kill in the top lane with Peanut coming in for the gank. Nicely done by them, and GeoBear 0-1 now. Renekton showing his early lane dominance.
And that's a 2k gold lead already, and that just shows you the outplay from the bot lane right there. It wasn't a gank, it was a 2v2, and we were just talking about Double Lift using the early Valkyrie for the damage that it provides instead of the escape potential, and we're just showing
maybe that's what he was doing. Maybe he was clearing the wave with Valkyrie, because there was a wave pushed up towards his tower, and he just did it again in lane to push the wave. So smart use of your skills and abilities there by Corki. It's not something you commonly see a Corki do, clearing the wave with Valkyrie.
He Valkyried but was still bound, but they were sat in that damage over time, and he picked up 2 kills, and the ebb and flow from Nami maybe saved his life. I think he would have
definitely helped out.
Anyway.
Definitely
helped out though, and she also picked up a cheeky little assist, which he may have lost out on if not. Looks like Peanut is now really going hard on to GeoBear.
I just want to say, they've been listening to us. You
have
have to camp out GeoBear. Numlock's gone triple Dorans to start himself up. He's going for the massive damage on GeoBear. Actually pops the Ruthless Predator as well, so going to stun up a minion. But Numlock knows that he needs to do the damage. Peanut knows that he needs to be there, trying to help out
as
much
guys,
as possible.
we are available for analysis.
Yes.
So we are, if you want to hire us as coach analysis and that kind of thing, we are available. We know scouting out teams. We know what we're talking about. In
oh, unload! Wawa! Oh, nice binding, nice shield there. Sorry, on Wawa going to keep himself alive. Yeah, but we are available for analysis. Follow us on Twitter at TheOnlyStoner and AddictScoundrel. And if you just want someone to cast your games as well, we're both available most of the time. Counter-Strike being used onto Numlock in the top lane. He tries to slice into it, so he's going to get some damage down from these minions onto GeoBear. Numlock very low. Here comes Peanut, though! Going to try and fight onto GeoBear. GeoBear gets melted. Numlock ganked that, but baited that one. Get out beautifully and got the kill. 4-0. 2,000 gold is the lead now. And Refuse are slowly but surely winning their way in this game. Wawa gets some damage down onto him.
Lead that Refuse have got by deciding to camp onto that GeoBear early on. And it just, it doesn't need it for anything else to go. Bot lane are winning by themselves. Does look like Dan is trying to get a gank off in this bot lane. They are going to walk possibly straight into him. He's coming around the backside though.
Yeah, if he can flag and drag into that bush, he won't be spotted by the enemy team.
No, but they do know he was there. There was pings down for that. They are going to possibly try and catch him out, but he has backed off, and this could be a bit of super mind games. If he doesn't back off, they're thinking, where has Dan disappeared to? We haven't seen him exit. But he is just going to back off now.
Oh no, is he? Oh, no. Binding misses though. Wawa's getting fought upon, but the Valkyrie's there. Unload, gonna get jumped up by Dan. It's not enough, the Ignite is ticking. Wawa going on to Wisdom instead, jumps back in. He's not going to have enough damage. Ebb and Flow coming out from Wisdom. It's like, yeah, I'll fight you. I'll take you on, you little yodel. Manages to get some damage down, but everyone backs away. Unload still quite low. Doesn't have heal available either. Only got that Phage, no life steal on him, but the Ebb and Flow coming out from Wisdom will keep him topped up ever so slightly.
Yeah, and the ping's coming down for Peanut's location. He's 2 levels, or was 2 levels ahead of Dan. Dan having just hit level 5, so he's done a good job, and camping that top lane has really worked out, because Numlock is now absolutely chunking GeoBear.
Yeah.
GeoBear's only picked up that Vamp Scepter, whereas a triple Dorans and a Chain Vest on Numlocked, and he's certainly making use of the advantage that Renekton holds through base damage in that top lane. And the thing is,
are they going to do Dragon?
They are. The great thing about Jax versus Renekton is that even if you block the damage from Ruthless Predator, you still have the stun.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Refuse are going to go straight in for this Dragon. They're going to get it without too much of an issue, I think.
Caston knows. Riftwalk is there. Doesn't go in. He uses the force
I haven't seen Peanut miss a smite yet on his lease, and he's done a great job there.
I just want to say that's really good timing from Peanut as well. What they did was they warded the red buff of Infused, and they waited for Jarvan to go towards that. They were very tentative about going for it, and as soon as Jarvan started his red buff, they were like, okay, we'll rotate to Dragon, and it means that Jarvan has to decide whether he wants to secure his buff or whether he wants to come across with the Dragon. Really nicely timed by Peanut, and because they knew that there wasn't vision there as well, because they had that pink ward, it meant it was even safer for them to fight it.
So there's a big 1k gold advantage just on Numlocked in that top lane. Look how much just Ruthless Predator and Cola Meek chunks GeoBear a third of his health right now. He's really struggling. He's also about 20 CS down, and Numlocked having a great time. He's just saying, no, you can't come near these minions. I'm gonna make sure that you don't get the CS there. He's got the Ruthless Predator again procced, and GeoBear's gonna have to miss out on all 3 of those CS. He's gonna push the lane in response to Geobear backing, but Geobear does have his teleport available, but no. The push in the site.
Peanut's coming in. Dan's going to spot him out here. Does use that martial code. It's slow. Imberlight is there. Wow. Shockwave being used only onto Imberlight. He's going to go down to the Ignite. Sonic Wave's there as well. Dan, not level 6 yet. Peanut is level 6. They're going to fight, and here comes Nunlocked. Fusion picks up the kill with an assist. Going to secure this blue buff. 6 kills to 0 now. 4,400 gold is the lead. And across the board, Refuse are definitely taking out the trash in this game.
Yeah, definitely taking out the trash, akin to all of the excellent plays that we've seen so far in that bot lane, in that top lane, and in that mid lane now, with the Orianna picking up a kill for herself. And again, the buff control from Peanut is top notch. Really, really stellar buff control from Peanut. You know, I've been really impressed with the way he's dominated both. You know, 3 out of 4 of the buffs usually have been dominated every time they've been spawned by Peanut, and again, a great engage, and that Q onto Imberlight and finishing up kept him safe from Jarvan, and then the flash from Fusen managed to pick up double buffs for himself, so he's going to be starting to do some real damage to Cassidy in that mid lane. And in that bot lane, it's a sorry sight for Wawa. Again, unload on Corki, showing you how you should be playing that matchup. So if Samwise is watching, this is how you do it, son. This is how you do it.
This is how you do it. Wawa not having the most fun. Binding doesn't hit there in the bot lane. Nice Valkyrie away by Corki. And in the mid lane we see Castin struggling. 20 CS behind. Top lane's 20 CS as well. What they've got to hope for now is Geobear just to get to that stage where he can carry. Of course, Jax can be behind in lane. Can be dumpstered upon, as we said, but still manage to carry as they get later into the game. Numlocked, obviously with that triple Dawns, is going for an early game build. Trying to get as much damage down as possible. And they haven't got a tower yet.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yet to get a tower though, and Team Refuse need to start pushing these advantages. Just getting the objective. Slow Shackle's coming in here, but Peanut is in the bush. Nice tidal wave onto Wawa. Peanut's going to go onto him. He uses the heal to get away. They're going to jump into Fletchner here, and he's going to go down. Nice Dragon Edge kick. Dan comes in from the side. Has got the Cataclysm available. Unload is losing life quite rapidly. Nice bubble. They're going to go in. Phosphorus Bomb. Peanut picks up the kill. Refuse managing to secure another kill. Shockwave used it in the mid lane, and that's a dead Imberlight. One more to attack. Fusion picks it up. Protects himself. They're going to get a tower here in bot lane. They're going to get a tower in mid lane. And as soon as I say they need to take objectives, that's exactly what they do.
I mean, I never thought that Refuse were going to throw away this lead, because they have just been so dominant when they've had a lead. And wow, I mean, that's going to be a mid lane turret and bot lane turret going down in succession. They're pushing the gold lane to 8k at 10 minutes. And I believe, Sona, you'd agree with me when I say that that is significant.
It's a significant gold lead. It's extreme. I think I'd even say that's an extreme gold lead.
Extreme gold lane looks like Numlocked wants to get some damage into that top lane. Actually escapes the majority of the tower damage too, and I think Geobear really struggling. This is what you do to a Geobear when you camp him. Take note, everybody who wants to play against Infused, because that is their strongest lane. So if you apply your pressure there, you know, they're going to really struggle.
Going to dive. Peanut is coming in from the side. Numlock hitting that tower a couple of times. Dan is around as well, but Geobear pops the Grandmaster's Might. There's the teleport coming in as well. They're going to jump onto Geobear as quickly as they can. Nice flash away. Here comes Cassidin. Flash away by Numlocked as well. He gets null speared. Are they going to be able to slow him up and up? He's got that dominance running. Dragon's Rage kick. Dan jumps onto the tower. He's going to get destroyed. One more tower shot. Not quite there. Peanut goes in. Imberlight trying to go into Numlocked. Oh, Geobear gets the kill. He's going to tag up one tower shot. One more would be enough. He hits the Sonic Wave. Go! Your heart is saying no. He goes in, man. Fusion coming in from the side as well. Imberlight gets taken down. Fletchner getting taken down in the bot lane. Oh, Unload misses his flash. What a man. What a Corki. You needed Valkyrie. But they do get a 4-for-1 exchange at the end of the day. Yeah, and that was just... Call of the queue. Call of the queue.
This is a true shafting from Refuse right now. They decided they didn't want to mess around in the early game. They don't want to be stretching the game out. They have just shown you how to beat Infused. You take down Geobear, and every other lane is going to get beaten by themselves.
Ooh, Bubble almost connecting there on Wawa.
I just think it's tough for Dan. If Dan isn't unleashing Evelyn, I feel like he does struggle to make his presence felt across the map.
We're taking towards red buff now.
Yeah.
Oh, teleport coming in behind Dan. This is not going to be good for me. He flashes away as soon as he sees it. The Valkyrie in behind, like the bubble! That was amazing. Binder comes in, actually going to keep him alive. Come on, Numlocked. Tidal Wave from long range. Connects with the shield, though. There's the Soul Shackle. Numlocked going to try and get in. Oh, the bomb was not quite enough. Here comes Imberlight, though. They might be able to fight this one back. Numlocked is there. Nice binding onto him. He's going to go down. Maybe at some point. Oh, he goes in onto Wawa, gets Buster shot it back. Fleschner picks up that one. Here comes Lee Sin. Dragon's Ray kick on that Kassadin. Probably one of the slippier characters to be able to knock back into your team. Corki picks up the kill on that. And a kill on your support versus a mid laner kill on your AD carry. I know which one I take every day.
Yeah, it's just not a great game for Imbolite this game either. He's just lost his second turret in that mid lane, and they're going to take away both the red buff and potentially the dragon. They are a bit low. Corki hasn't got any mana either. Don't want to give a smite away here. And Corki going to use that Valkyrie again to
got to farm with Valk, man. Got to farm with Valk.
Yeah. Got to farm with the Valk. It's the only way to farm. And it looks like Orianna and Peanut are going to take away this dragon early on. And Infused don't actually have a timer, I don't believe.
No.
Because they didn't see the dragon get taken originally.
No, they did. Imbolite was there. Imbolite spotted it, yeah. Well, but
unfortunately, hasn't resulted in any sort of. But then I think Infused now realise that they're just too far behind to contest right now.
14 kills to 2, 12,000 gold the lead, only 14 minutes into the game, and that Peanut is doing work. 4-0-6. It's been amazing.
Every game we've seen Peanut play Lee Sin, he's been out of this world. He's been really good on Lee Sin every game, and we saw some Lee Sins from. I believe it was Propaganda Panda, and it just wasn't at the same. It didn't shut down in the same way that Peanut has. And if you look at the way Peanut's playing his Lee Sin, he's playing it very Korean style, which is he farms about.
Fletcher might go down here, misses the binding. That's a kill. Unload's going to go onto Imbolite as well. It's got the red buff fucking. Imbolite will rift walk away. Dan trying to come in from the back, but can you really fight this, Dan? I'm not sure you can. Oh, Imbolite gets some damage down on Unload. They're going to turn this one around. Unload, there's Dan. Knock up, there's the tidal wave. Unload is a god. Gets a double kill as well. So much damage onto Imbolite. BF sword and try is huge. Tristana is here, but wow, what on earth can you do? Just sit by your tower and cry tears of defeat, I'm afraid, because there is the inhibitor tower going down. Going to be picked up by Unload. They're going to go for the inhibitor as well. Wawa's going very low. Flashing by Fuse and misses the shockwave because Wawa flashes away. Fletchner going very low. Look at the command attack damage. Here comes GeoBear as well. He uses that counter attack, trying to fight this one up. Oh, Unload's going in. He misses the missile. And I guess that's what you're meant to do with it, because it's got it in the name. Here comes Peanut going on to Dan. Dan trying to run away. There is a Renekton pushing up that top lane as well. I'm sure Dan would like to make himself some crocodile shoes, but that leather is not going to be farmed today, I'm afraid. 17 kills to 2. Inhibitor going down in the mid lane before there are even 16.5 minutes passed. And that is almost a dead Ghost Bride Morgana. She lives up to her name. Fusion picks up the kill. Teleport coming in onto that minion. Just keep it alive. Imbolite going into the middle of the team. Goes down. GeoBear is there as well, but the second inhibitor is going to get pushed after this inner turret is pushed down in the top lane. 19 kills to 2 now, and the goal difference is 16,000. Only 16 minutes into the game. Dan trying to go in. He gets knocked up. So many stuns, so much damage. Dan goes down. GeoBear still alive. The phosphorus bomb hits. I thought it was a Nami bubble for a second, but it wasn't. Lee Sin! Call of the queue. Peanut picks up his 5th kill of the game. And that is an inhibitor turret being focused down here by Team Refuse. That's the second of the game.
They've done a brilliant job. I mean, Refuse won every single lane. The bot lane and the mid lane won by themselves, and with a bit of jungle pressure, unlocked.
Oh, going in! Lee Sin! Insac! Dead Morgana. Dead Morgana.
And unfortunately, with a bit of camping and a bit of friendly jungle.
Imbolite placing wards! He's placed them all over the middle. They have perfect vision of this fight. Imbolite does go down, but those wards are legendary now. Nice Cataclysm to lock up 3. Looks like Dan's going to try and chase them out of the base. Wawa is alive, but not for long. Doesn't actually get taken out. Sonic Wave, go in, Lisa! Ah, flashes away. Buster shot it as well. Dan actually goes down. First Nexus turret. Shockwave on minions to farm. Got to get that CS score nice and high. And the Nexus turret's going to go down. Team Refuse are going to be your champions, guys, in this Pre-Insomnia52 Razer Open League of Legends tournament. All credit to them. They take it 2-0 against Team Infused, and they win 5 bring your own computer tickets to I-52 on the 22nd to the 24th.